Hello, everyone. If you've been following the story of Jihen, little Maya, and Huin from those stormy days filled with pain and fear, today I want to share with you a moment so beautiful it would soften anyone's heart. After the threats, after the wounds that still hadn't fully healed, after the nights when Huin hid her tears to protect little Maya and the man who stood by them, today they had a wedding. A wedding so small it barely fit under the porch of their little house, but big enough to hold all the love they have for each other. The little girl who once broke down crying when she saw someone hurting the people she loved, the same little girl who once grabbed his hand tightly and begged, "Uncle, please don't disappear." Today, she stood in the middle of the yard, her pink dress fluttering in the breeze, holding a small white box with the rings. With the purest, slightly trembling, but happiest voice in the world, Maya declared, "I give permission for Uncle Yi to marry Mommy Huin." The whole yard fell silent. Only the wind could be heard whispering through the vines, and 3 hearts beating in perfect rhythm. He stood there in a simple black suit, his eyes shining like he had just discovered peace for the first time in his life. He looked at Huin in her simple white dress, to him, the most beautiful sight he had ever seen. They didn't need a grand hall, an orchestra, or hundreds of congratulations. They only needed this moment, the moment a family was officially born. If you can feel the simple yet deep love in this scene, please leave a like and a message of good wishes for this little wedding, so that Jihen, Huin, and little Maya may have many, many more days of peace together. That afternoon, the sky was a soft blue, as if covered with a thin layer of silk. A gentle breeze moved through the garden, making the vines sway and the white ribbons Yi had tied around the yard dance like they were celebrating too. It was a tiny wedding. Only 3 people who truly loved each other. But to them, it was the warmest wedding in the world. The yard was decorated simply. A few wooden chairs, jars filled with flowers picked from the garden, warm yellow fairy lights strung along the fence, and a piece of white cloth tied into a small arch for the ceremony. Nothing fancy, nothing expensive, but everything smelled like home. Huin had no idea what was waiting for her. She thought she was just being called for an early dinner. But when she stepped out the door, the world stopped. She was wearing the simple white dress that Maya and Yi had secretly prepared for her. Maya had tucked a little white flower into her hair. Huin froze in the doorway, hand over her mouth, trembling with shock and joy. There stood Yi under the glowing lights, wearing a perfect black suit, looking nervous and deeply in love, like a man getting married for the first time. And beside him was Maya, beaming brighter than all the lights, proudly holding the ring box. "Mommy, today I'm the bridesmaid, okay?" Maya shouted. Huin laughed through sudden tears. "Oh my God, what are you two planning?" He stepped forward and gently offered his hand. "We're not planning anything, Huin. Today, I want to marry you." His voice was low, simple, but every word struck her heart like a promise. She looked around the little yard, so simple, yet every detail carried Ye's love. She looked at Maya, eyes sparkling with joy. She looked at Yi, the good man who had suffered, who had been alone, who had been threatened, but who still stood there, strong and kind and full of beautiful courage. Huin placed her hand in his. He held it tightly, like he was holding a whole new life. Maya stood between them, trying to look very serious. "I now declare that Uncle Yi, and Mommy are married." Yi burst out laughing. Huin blushed deeply, but her eyes were filled with indescribable happiness. Maya opened the little box. Inside were 2 simple silver rings, shining softly in the evening light. Yi got down on one knee. Huin lost all words. "Huin," he said softly, "I can't promise you wealth. I can't promise there won't be hard days. But I promise I will love you and Maya with everything I am, like the family I've waited for my whole life." Tears rolled down Huin's cheeks. "Yi." He looked up at her, voice steady and full of love. "Will you be my wife?" She cried harder, nodding again and again. "Yes, yes I will." Maya clapped wildly. She said yes. She said yes. With trembling fingers, Yi slipped the ring onto Huin's finger. She did the same, laughing and crying like a little girl. The wind blew, the white ribbons rose into the air, the yellow lights flickered softly, and in the middle of that small yard, the 3 of them hugged. A simple, complete family. As the sun set, Huynh whispered into Ye's ear, "Thank you for choosing us." He held her tighter. "No, Huynh. Thank you for giving me a home." Maya squeezed between them, stretching her little arms. "And thank you to me too. I'm the one who made you get married." Yi and Huynh burst into laughter and hugged her even tighter. Later, they sat at a little wooden table in the yard. A simple meal of hot pho, homemade spring rolls, and a bottle of soda Maya insisted on opening to celebrate Papa and Mama. Maya stood on her chair like she was giving a presidential speech. "Now comes the most important part," she announced. Yi and Huynh exchanged amused looks. "What part, little one?" Yi asked. Maya put her hands on her hips. "The part where Uncle Yi has to make promises to me." Yi pretended to be serious. "I just married your mom and I still have to make more promises?" "Of course," Maya said. "You're Mommy's husband now, so you have to listen to me too." Huynh laughed until tears came. "Who made you the boss, Missy?" "I'm the bridesmaid," Maya declared proudly. He raised his hand solemnly. "Okay, Madam Bridesmaid. I'm listening." Maya cleared her throat dramatically. "First promise. You have to take me to school every day." "I promise." "Second promise. You have to read me bedtime stories every night, even when you're tired." Yi raised an eyebrow. "Even when I'm tired?" "If you're tired, you read lying down," Maya said firmly. Huynh had to hide her face in laughter. Yi smiled. "I promise. Even lying down." Maya held up 3 fingers. "Third promise. You have to always love my mommy and never let anyone make her sad." Yi went quiet. His smile softened. He knelt down to Maya's eye level and placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "That one. I don't need you to ask me, Maya." She tilted her head. "Why not?" He looked at Huynh. Their eyes met and didn't look away. "Because I already promised that to myself a long time ago." Huynh's breath caught. Tears filled her eyes again. Maya didn't fully understand, but she felt it was important. She held out her little hand. Then, "Pinky promise, so I believe you." Yi smiled and linked his pinky with hers. "Pinky promise." Click. A tiny sound that sealed a huge promise. That night, after Maya finally fell asleep hugging her stuffed dog, exhausted from being the busiest bridesmaid in the world, Yi stepped into the garden under the moonlight and called his mother. "Mom, it's me. My godson, I've been worried sick." "Mom, I have so much to tell you." He took a deep breath. "I ended things with Ty for good." A long sigh of relief from the other side. "Thank God." "And Mom, I asked Huynh to marry me." Silence. "And are you serious?" his mother nearly shouted. "She said yes." "Yes, Mom. We had a little ceremony in the yard today. Just the 3 of us." His mother's voice broke with happy tears. "Oh, my son. You finally found someone who loves you the way you deserve." Ye's eyes burned. "Mom, I'm so happy it almost scares me. Like it's too good to be true." "It's not a dream, my love. It's the blessing you've been waiting for." Then she added eagerly, "Let me talk to Maya. I miss my little granddaughter so much." He called out, "Maya, come say hi to Grandma Sam." Maya came running. She pressed her cheek to the phone. "Grandma, today I was the prettiest bridesmaid. And Papa Yi said I was the most beautiful." Grandma Sam laughed warmly. "Of course you were, my princess. I'm bringing you cakes and dresses when I visit." Huynh shyly leaned in. "Good evening, ma'am." Grandma Sam's voice turned tender. "Thank you for loving my son." Huynn's eyes filled again. "No, ma'am, thank you for raising such a good man." That night, under the soft moonlight, in their little house filled with warm yellow lights and quiet love, a real family was finally, truly complete. And no matter what storms may come in the future, they now had each other. Forever.